The new clothes and shoes that Uwani bought for Sochima on a regular basis soon triggered Regina's curiosity. Her husband has changed. He now cared so much for a daughter, Sochima, all alone. It bewildered Regina when Uwani drove home upon one sunless afternoon and parked his car gently beside the bunch of flowers growing close to the wall at the facade of the house. He came down excitedly and walked up to Regina inside the kitchen, clouded with smokes from burning woods. At first, Regina looked up and saw it was him. She did as usual, greeted him respectfully, with no grudge in her mind, but without looking at his face. Her heart shook when Uwani came behind and hugged her. Even though she sat on a low stool, he did bend down and cuddled her into his affectionate arms. Rapidly, he gave her a kiss beside her ear. This stimulated cold rashes all over Regina's body as she shuddered excitedly on her stool, without smiling, without allowing Uwani to know that she tremendously loved and appreciated what he just did. Uwani dragged close a brownish low stool and sat beside Regina. He took over the tray of beans she was picking and began to do the picking himself, wholeheartedly. For better for worse, you vowed to love me before man and God. Have you broken those vows? Uwani asked, smiling, his eyes fixed inside the tray of beans upon his lap. Regina stared confusedly a while and shook her head calmly. In joy and sorrows, you promised to conquer the trials of life with me. Do you still keep those promises? She asked, gazing sorrowfully at him. Uwani flashed a smile at her and blinked one of his eyes lovely at her. I missed you, Uwani said. He dropped down the tray on his lap and leaned closer to Regina until she began to feel the hairs of his chest, thrusting into her sagged breast. This was how we were on the night of our wedding day. We promised not to leave each other. But then, you forsaken me, Regina said. It was not my will, Uwani said. Cursed nature of the earth, cursed nature of the womb did. It refused to give me a son that I can't do without. I need a son to extend my existence to the further generation. Uwam, my word, Regina called affectionately. And you think I wouldn't indulge your craving? I would have given you a son if only I could. Our daughters are still blessings. What about the childless? What would they have any choice? They would even crave for a half-child, she said. They gazed at each other for so long till Regina gradually extricated herself from his charming hairy chest and warm arms. She stood up to check the pot of fire. It was boiling already, and she washed the cereal of rice on a bowl and filtered them into a pot. She closed the pot, returning back to sit. Uwani stood up immediately.